Now on 4 News Now at 6, the fate of hundreds of teachers and support staff in Coeur d'Alene will be decided tomorrow. What a no on tomorrow's levy vote could mean for your child's education.
I'm tracking thunderstorms currently making their way through the inland northwest. I'll let you know where they are headed in your First Alert forecast.
Test scores are down and the federal government is spending billions in Washington to help students catch up. We'll show you how that money is being used and why it's so hard to track. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
Over 300 jobs, 2 elementary schools, and much more is on the line in the Coeur d'Alene Public School District.
Voters will decide on a $25 million supplemental levy tomorrow. The district is rerunning the levy because it failed back in March, this time without the perpetuity factor. Vanessa Perez is in Coeur d'Alene and spoke with some parents and supporters. She brings us the last-minute push ahead of a critical vote. Vanessa.
Yeah, well, we're here at Bryan Elementary School, one of the 4 schools at risk of closing. Supporters I spoke to say they're concerned about the overall impact to the community. They're also afraid they could lose valuable teachers to neighboring states.
What should it look like and sound like to be sharing the materials? Can you give me some ideas?
The future of Coeur d'Alene Public Schools is now in the hands of voters.
Truly, it's going to be the community's loss if we don't pass this levy. It's not just going to be the staff and the kids.
4 elementary schools are at risk of closing: Bora, Ramsey, Dalton, and Bryan.
I'm just continuing to support the tradition of levies passing in this community for the past 40 years. Standing here at Ramsey Elementary in front of my alma mater that's at risk to close is just devastating. Our entire community is going to lose if this levy does not pass.
Supporters say it'll be hard to recruit and retain the workforce. As a real estate agent, Nell is also concerned about home values dropping.
People are not going to want to live in a school district or in a community that doesn't support public education.
Lindsay Willoughby has 1 son in the district. She worries about what lies ahead if voters say no once again.
You can't have a strong community if you don't have a strong public school system that is able to provide education and bring those children a wide variety of experiences so that when they become an adult, they have a lot of ability to be able to make all the choices that they would like in the world. And if we don't give them a good foundation to start with, they don't have that.
There is plenty of yes vote signs around the Lake City, but there's also still people on the other side. One man tells me the levy passed easily just 5 years ago. It's not the case now. He says the district ignored people in 2020 and claims 10% of students were taken out of the district. But a critical vote lies ahead Tuesday. And last month, the school board declared a financial emergency to allow the district to send out notices to teachers and staff who may be laid off. Of course, that decision will come after this vote. We'll be watching this very closely and bringing you the most latest information. Live in Coeur d'Alene, Vanessa Perez, 4 News Now.
Vanessa, thank you. Voters in the Lakeland Joint School District are being asked to approve 2 separate levies that failed the first time around. This district is asking for $9.5 million per year for 2 years. It says without the money, there will be drastic changes to the athletic and music programs. It could also mean the district would not be able to afford armed guards at school. Be sure to download the KXLY app and turn on push notifications to get the results of tomorrow's votes sent straight to your phone. Well, right now, thunderstorms are making their way through the inland northwest.
Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker. She's in the First Alert Weather Center.
Well, those thunderstorms have weakened in the past hour. Here's a look at our radar right now. We still find some spots where there's some cloud-to-ground lightning, some heavy rain. You might also encounter some very small hail, but the strong thunderstorms of earlier this afternoon have dissipated. Right now, we're watching an area of thunderstorm activity right around Laclede. That is moving to the north in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. However, we remain very, very quiet. Wouldn't rule out an isolated sprinkle or 2 this evening, but I think we'll wait until tomorrow until we hear any rumbles of thunder. Temperatures around the region, you can tell where we've had some clouds and showers. Only 72 in Spirit Lake, Hayden, and Coeur d'Alene. I say only, that's still above average, but it's 82 at 9 Mile and 80 degrees in Meade and downtown downtown Spokane. Around the region, temperatures ranging from the mid-80s in Grand Coulee and Moses Lake to 70 degrees right now in St. Mary's. Here are 4 things to know about your weather. Those storms will continue to weaken and should be dissipated by about 8 o'clock. There are more storms on the way for Tuesday, potentially stronger storms with heavy rain. And then it's record heat on the way for the weekend. A lot to talk about in the 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Aaron?
Thank you, Chris. The pandemic has taken a toll on our students' learning. Since 2020, test scores across the state of Washington dropped, and districts are working to bring them back up.
Federal funding is kicked in to help. Now a new report out of Olympia says there's no way of making sure this money is being spent the way it is supposed to. Our Natalie Grant joins us live in studio tonight. Natalie, do we know how much money our schools have received?
Yeah, Kirsten, Aaron, since 2020, $2.9 billion in federal COVID relief money has been dispersed across Washington School District, with a certain percentage of that money specifically set aside to address learning loss from the pandemic. Districts across the state submitted a plan to the Office of the Superintendent of Public Instruction, or OSPI, outlining how they intended to use this funding. But they say that this new report that the OSPI does not have an effective plan in place to make sure districts are following through on that intention. Now, the report says the spending is being tracked, but in very broad categories. As of last September, only 45% of the money has been spent across the state. The report states there is not enough details on ways that money is being spent and gives examples of districts reporting 74% of these expenses in other categories rather than in their outlined plans. Now, following this report, the legislative auditor recommended that OSPI establish a process to monitor specifically how districts are implementing these plans and spending their money. Now, the superintendent of public instruction, Chris Reichtel, said that he partially agrees with this recommendation in a letter saying these funds were intended to be incredibly flexible so they could be quickly put into use in schools. He said there are already systems in place to track how the money is being used and will only add on additional tracking systems if the U.S. Department of Education requires it. Now, we did reach out to the Spokane Public Schools for comment on how they're spending their funding. While no one was available for an interview today, we did learn that the district has been giving $124.2 million in federal COVID funding since 2020 and has spent almost $100 million of it. District officials say it's been on things like class size reduction, curriculum, supports for special education, interventions, and student technology, all of which they say has been reported to the OSPI. Reporting in studio tonight, Natalie Grant, 4 News Now.
Natalie, thank you. And new at 6 o'clock. Prosecutors say the defense team for the man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students has a copy of all the evidence involved in the case. Earlier this month, Bryan Kohberger's attorneys said they were missing key evidence that could help clear him. According to court documents, prosecutors say they have already handed everything over. Anything that is missing is outside the scope of the case.
One person died in a car crash in North Spokane last night. It happened near 9 Mile and 7 Mile Road east of the Spokane River. Washington State Patrol says the driver was speeding when he reached a curve in the road and hit a tree. The driver and passenger were ejected from the car despite wearing seatbelts. The driver died at the scene while the passenger was taken to the hospital.
Tomorrow, state lawmakers will return to Olympia to once again try and pass new drug possession legislation. Right now, in most parts of the state, law enforcement agencies have to refer anyone who's caught doing drugs to rehab services before an arrest can be made. Lawmakers tried to address the issue in April, but it failed to pass. Governor Jay Inslee called for a special session earlier this month, saying, "My office and I have been meeting with legislators from all 4 caucuses, and I am very optimistic about reaching an agreement that can pass both chambers." If new laws are not passed, it would be up to individual municipalities to come up with their own rules, and that could create some confusion for law enforcement agencies.
Right now, the city of Spokane has different drug laws than the rest of the county. Last week, the city council approved an emergency ordinance that makes public drug use or possession a gross misdemeanor. Anyone caught doing drugs within city limits can face up to 1 year in prison. It also allows officers to seize all drugs and drug-related items as an alternative to arrest.
Well, it's do or die time for the Kraken tonight with Game 7 against the Dallas Stars happening right now in Texas. The game is currently in the second period and they're still tied at 0-0. We will have the score again later on in sports.
Still ahead, another mass shooting in the U.S., this time in New Mexico. Details coming up next.
I told him thank you like a million times.
We'll introduce you to a survivor of a mass shooting who can't stop thanking the person she says saved her life after the break.
Four News Now on your time with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Did you know that Spokane Hyperbaric Center uses oxygen to reduce pain, inflammation, and swelling?
I didn't know that.
Did you know that hyperbaric oxygen therapy promotes new blood vessel growth, fights infection, and releases more stem cells from your bone marrow?
I didn't know that.
Would you like to know if Spokane Hyperbaric Center is the right choice for you? Go to hyperbarichope.com to find out.
Spokane Hyperbaric Center gave us hope. And now you know.
It's time to replace your old tub with a new shower. But you don't want the hassle or the worry of getting it finished. You just want to pick a style and relax, knowing that it'll be wonderful when it's done. Is that too much to ask? No, actually it's not. Rebath, from start to stunning. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $750 off your tub or shower replacement.
The Chevy RS family of SUVs has it all. Whether you want the 10.2-inch diagonal color touchscreen on Blazer or extra peace of mind with Chevy Safety Assist standard on the 2023 Chevy family of SUVs. So take your pick. The choice is yours. Spring into adventure and get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Equinox models. Or get $1,500 cash allowance. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
You filming?
Yep.
Try rolling your wrist, dude.
You gotta focus on balance.
You should switch to sledding. I'm gonna block him. Good idea.
Don't forget stick work. Hustle's paying off.
Options to try to help you slim down. It's like we're living in a weight loss revolution. But what do you need to know about weight loss drugs? This week, Dr. Jen is here with answers for you. Plus, Gordon Ramsay, the new Little Mermaid, Halle Bailey, and Harrison Ford. Live on GMA this week.
Congratulations to Rathdrum, Idaho, Stubmeyer Park, and its Holt Field that's going to be rebuilt with the Diamonds and Dreams. The field needs a lot of work, and we're here to help. Diamonds and Dreams with the 4 News Now Extreme Team, brought to you by your hometown Chevy dealers and Horizon Credit Union.
Around the nation, 3 people were killed and 2 officers were hurt in a shooting in New Mexico.
Happened in the city of Farmington, which is about 20 miles south of the Colorado-New Mexico border. The shooting started around 10 o'clock near a park. Farmington police say the shooter was quickly found and killed. Schools in the city were placed on a preventative lockdown. Police have not released the name of the shooter, and they believe there's no longer a threat to the community. This is a developing situation. We'll update you as we learn more.
This shooting is the 224th mass shooting in the U.S. this year. That's according to the Gun Violence Archive, and it's important to note that organization defines a mass shooting as at least 4 people shot, not including the shooter. One of those mass shootings took place during a prom after party in Mississippi 2 weeks ago. Now, one of the survivors of that shooting can't stop thanking the person she says saved her life. Tonight at 6, WLOX's Amber Spradley shares their story.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I told him thank you like a million times.
This bond formed during one of the most traumatic moments, but one also made to last. That's Lauren Lawless and Waveland Police Sergeant Troy Bordelon, an officer who found her shot down on the scene and remained by her side.
I just stayed with her the whole time and let her know what was going on.
Amid the chaos and tragedy of the night, Sergeant Bordelon would be on the call of duty to help, even when an ambulance arrived.
My son's 14, and I would want somebody to do everything they could to get him, to a hospital as quick as they could. So I made a decision just to escort her all the way to Gulfport.
Lauren spent 4 days in the ICU. She returned home about 1 week ago, spending Mother's Day with one grateful mom.
She's not going to let this beat her. She has her mindset that she's going to recover and make a full recovery.
And that she is.
Think about it. So it's only been like 2 weeks and I'm already doing this good. Think about like 4 weeks. It's going to be like 2 times better.
Stronger and stronger day by day. On the bullet's way right through her, she suffered 2 broken ribs, as well as nerve damage in her left leg.
All the documentaries and everything, you never expect it to be like in your town or your family or you.
Her family and friends calling her survival nothing short of a miracle. But she insists she wouldn't be here today without her newfound friend in blue.
Y'all are shown in such a negative light. And this happening to me showing like y'all actually genuinely like help people. Like y'all aren't the stereotype everybody makes y'all out to be. Y'all actually save people. Y'all save me.
That's what we signed up to do.
Well, in all, 6 teenagers were shot on April 30th, and 2 of them did not survive. The 19-year-old suspect is now behind bars.
Thunderstorms are tapering off this evening, but they'll be back tomorrow, potentially stronger with heavy rain and the potential for flash flooding. We'll start the day off with dry conditions in the 50s, a high tomorrow of 84. 67 is our average high. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Mechanics Pride.
If you have a fear of missing out, you might want to start earning with a free Camas Rewards card because, dude, Camas Rewards at Northern Quest for all the ways you play.
Kelly here at Colville Toyota with the pups, cruising in this new Toyota Highlander.
We've met many new neighbors and come to love this beautiful region.
Our hometown-friendly restaurants, scenic rivers, Colville, Kettle, and Columbia.
Confederated County Museum, the golf course, hiking around Colville Mountain, a leisurely picnic at one of our parks,
or just a beautiful scenic drive.
Our region has plenty to offer, and so does Colville Toyota.
Your small-town dealership with the big heart.
We don't need a line of credit from STCU right now. Business is booming.
Can I be frank with you? The moment you need a line of credit, you don't qualify for it. It's a paradox.
Like the more I insist that I don't quality test the laughing gas, the more people think I do.
Do you? Anyway, no, it's like flossing so you don't get a cavity. Open up a line of credit now to stay strong when business isn't booming.
What do you think?
All right, let's celebrate. Go ahead and turn that gas on.
No, put that down.
STCU Business. Partner up.
The Chevy RS family of SUVs has it all. Whether you want the 10.2-inch diagonal color touchscreen on Blazer or extra peace of mind with Chevy Safety Assist, standard on the 2023 Chevy family of SUVs. So take your pick. The choice is yours. Spring into adventure and get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Equinox models. Or get $1,500 cash allowance. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
The Move Fitness gyms are on the move.
Let's go! With everyone getting ready for summer and a new gym opening soon in Spokane, there's never been a better time to join.
Did you know Northern Quest Traeger A Day giveaway gives you a shot at a new Traeger grill every day in May? It also gives you a reason to use Precision Meat Probe in a sentence.
Don't miss your chance to win a new Traeger grill every day in May, only at Northern Quest.
Thunderstorms are weakening and tapering off this evening, mainly found over the higher terrain now, the northeast mountains, North Idaho, and down through the central panhandle and the mountains just east of the Palouse. They'll be back tomorrow and very likely in a stronger form. Partly cloudy tonight, overnight, 56 for an overnight low. Tomorrow, a high of 84 with a chance of thunderstorms. I'll show you the computer model in right now. Here's our forecast radar starting off at 6 o'clock. Last of those few isolated showers and thunderstorms, and will be partly cloudy overnight. By tomorrow morning, we may have a few isolated showers developing in the Columbia Basin. Then as we get into the heat of the afternoon, those thunderstorms will bloom. Here's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and they're popping up in the usual spots over the mountains of northeast Washington, North Idaho, and along the east slopes of the northern Cascades. We will see them working their way into the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area by the time we're into the late afternoon and early evening. These storms will have the potential for some small hail, gusty winds, but it is the heavy rain that's coming along with these storms that could have some cause some problems with flash flooding. Meanwhile, here's what's going on. It's an area of low pressure that is very slow moving along the Oregon-Washington border that is going to keep rotating energy and moisture into our region for the next couple of days. So each afternoon and evening, at least through Wednesday, we'll have a chance of some showers and thunderstorms. Even on Thursday over the mountains, we may see that. Meanwhile, high pressure, which has been stuck to our north, is going to take over our weather pattern once we get into the weekend. That's going to mean warm, dry, and sunny weather with near record heat, possibly record heat, especially on Saturday. Overnight lows tonight will be in the 50s in most locations, a few 60s on the map. Highs tomorrow in the 80s and 90s. Will be in the lower to mid 80s in Spokane, 88 in Lewiston, with 90s at Moses Lake, Wenatchee, and Omak. Your planning forecast: more thunderstorms possible on Wednesday. Then we start drying out and clearing out, at least for the first part of the weekend. 92 on Saturday would handily beat the record of 86. Little bit cooler with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms on Sunday, and then a more significant dip on Monday. The 79 definitely looks cool on this 7-day forecast, but it is still more than 10 degrees above average. I'm looking out 8 to 14 days, plus tracking the last of the thunderstorms in the next half hour. Aaron?
Sounds good. Thank you, Chris. A fire that erupted in South Spokane this Saturday killed 2 family dogs. According to the American Veterinary Association, roughly 40,000 pets die in house fires every year.
Yeah, but tonight, a push to bring that number down. Our Jordan Smith joins us from the Spokane Fire Training Facility with the tool that's giving pets a fighting chance if they're trapped in a fire.
Of all the tools that firefighters carry with them on a day-to-day basis, this animal oxygen mask is one of them. This is a highly effective tool that can be used to help resuscitate animals that have become unresponsive due to smoke inhalation from a house fire, for example. And this tool is a part of every single unit within the Spokane Fire Department.
It happens more often than we realize. A home goes up in flames and pets are trapped inside. The smoke and carcinogens released during a fire are incredibly dangerous to both humans and our pets.
There is a huge amount of carcinogens, cyanide, carbon monoxide, and a plethora of other extremely volatile chemicals in that black smoke.
So for the better part of 15 years, firefighters have been equipped with oxygen masks specially designed for animals.
With these devices, the way they're designed and how they go onto the anatomy, in this case of a dog, it allows us to provide 100% oxygen and ventilate a dog.
Firefighters deployed this tool on Saturday during a house fire that erupted in South Spokane. 2 dogs were trapped inside. You can see crews doing CPR as this dog was unresponsive. They were ultimately able to help one regain consciousness and transport it to a hospital. Sometimes, like Saturday, these efforts are too little, too late, as both dogs ended up passing away. But the potential for these tools to save lives is enormous, as is the push to have them in every fire station across the region.
Heard of them being used on cats and dogs.
Heather Mychek with Invisible Fence in Post Falls is trying to make that happen.
We try and make sure that there's one kit on every first responder vehicle in the area.
They've donated dozens of these masks to local fire departments in our region. Their latest push to bring them to Kootenai County and Coeur d'Alene.
Our goal is to save as many pets as possible.
In Spokane, Jordan Smith, 4 News Now.
Still ahead. Time is running out for lawmakers on Capitol Hill to raise the debt ceiling before the June 1st deadline. How the U.S. defaulting on its debt could impact you next on 4 News Now at 6.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Welcome to Coeur d'Alene Honda, home of the lifetime warranty.
Well, hi. Hey, I'm looking for a new Honda, but I heard some dealers are charging outrageous prices.
At Coeur d'Alene Honda, we simply don't do that.
We ain't no big city slickers with second stickers.
It's business as usual.
We are a family-owned dealership, and our reputation is far more valuable than overcharging our customers.
We want to be here for you today, tomorrow, and in the future.
And don't forget about our lifetime warranty.
Check out our website at cdahonda.com.
Did somebody turn off the lights?
Don't forget your seatbelt.
This car won't start until you buckle up.
Seatbelt, Grandma. 1, 2, there you go.
Buckle up, Buttercup.
However you say it, it's perfect. Together, we get there.
There's something unusual about doing business with Idaho Central Credit Union. It's not something you can put your finger on. It's not something you can copy and mass produce. It's just the Idaho way. And that's the way we partner with your business. Welcome to Business Unusual, where how you do business is how we do business. Idaho Central Credit Union. Your business is our purpose.
Make your outdoor grilling experience one to remember at your locally owned Ace Hardware, where you'll find top brands like Traeger and Weber. Our friendly neighborhood experts will help you find everything you need, including the right fuel to light your fire. We've got a large selection of accessories like covers and utensils, rubs and sauces, and everything you need to enjoy your outdoor space. So come see us at Ace. With service so good, it's guaranteed.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Selection. Wendell Ford has it. Supply chains have bounced back, and our inventory is stronger than ever. Edge, Escape, Explorer, Expedition, F-150. Even certified used vehicles with Ford's Blue Advantage. Great selection, great service, and great financing options. Don't delay. Visit Wendell Ford at the Y on North Division. And drive for generations.
4 News Now is brought to you by Move Fitness.
New at 6 o'clock. Time is running out for Congress to nail down debt ceiling legislation before the June 1st deadline.
That's when the U.S. Treasury Secretary says the country will run out of funds to repay its debt. CNN's Ivan Rodriguez explains how it could impact the U.S. economy and your wallet.
The suspicion of a default alone, even if that default never comes, could result in a credit downgrade for the United States, and that could spell problems for American families across the country. Washington's window to raise the debt ceiling is narrowing, as the U.S. is just over 2 weeks away from potential default if an agreement isn't reached.
If Congress failed to raise the debt limit by the time we default, we would go into a recession. It would be catastrophic.
Weekend staff-level talks between Capitol Hill and the White House were productive, according to sources familiar with the talks. But as President Joe Biden may be preparing to meet with top congressional leadership Tuesday, the way forward appears unclear.
I think we'll be able to do it.
It doesn't seem to me yet that they want it.
A U.S. financial crisis could unleash chaos around the world and impact millions of Americans.
Defaulting on our debt isn't only about financial markets. It's about paying our Social Security recipients. It's about paying our troops. It's about paying the men and women who are working the border today.
Bankrate's Greg McBride says the uncertainty alone is enough to wreak havoc on family finances.
It doesn't take more than just a brief disruption to create a hole that households may take months, if not years, to dig out.
This as Americans are already contending with record household debt, more than $17 trillion worth, according to a new report from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York.
The more money that households are putting into debt payments, that's less money that's available for discretionary spending, which is a headwind to the economy.
But McBride says there are 2 key ways to protect yourself as economic conditions grow less stable.
Paying down debt and boosting your emergency savings. Focus on high-cost debt like credit cards.
Even though the government has until June 1st to raise the debt limit, there are only 4 working days on Capitol Hill between now and then, which means negotiators must come up with a plan this week that both chambers and the president can agree to. In Atlanta, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
Well, the cost of attending most public colleges in Idaho is about to get more expensive.
How much prices are increasing and why school officials say it's necessary, coming up. Plus,
as the weather gets warmer, ticks are starting to be more active in our region. Coming up, how to avoid them and what to do when you get bit by one.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app. 4 News Now and STCU are teaming up to highlight and congratulate high school and college graduates. Send us a photo of your senior, and 10 lucky students will be chosen to win a $50 gift card from STCU. Enter your senior photo today at KXLY.com.
This is the beautiful Nissan Rogue. Check it out. Futuristic front, spacious interior, and a functional rear hatch. But beauty is only part of why we know you'll love this SUV. There's numerous safety features, driving modes for snow, off-road, sport, and even hands-free. Important rear driver assist and automatic braking systems. Plus, lane safety with blind spot detection. The Nissan Rogue is a great SUV, and our friendly dealership is a great place to test drive one. Just off Highway 95, Coeur d'Alene Nissan.
If you are wondering when is a good time to come to Corner Furniture, we may have an idea of when to come check out our amazing selection of fine furniture.
May, we show you around.
Mayday, we're going down! For the best night's sleep ever.
Don't worry, you won't be dismayed at the prices.
It's always a good time to come to Kerner Furniture. And this May, during our Memorial Day sale, shop great sale prices on our huge selection.
There's no mayhem here, just great furniture and helpful staff during Kerner Furniture's Memorial Day sale. Going on all May.
Adventure, culture, and fine wine await you in the Lewis Clark Valley, less than 2 hours south of Spokane. Tour some of the world's most spectacular wilderness, beauty, and wildlife in Hell's Canyon. Experience the region's rich and diverse culture and history. Savor award-winning Lewis Clark Valley wines and delicious culinary creations from a variety of local wineries and fine dining establishments. Go to visitlewisclarkvalley.com and plan your destination getaway today.
Of course I know the theme song.
Entertainment Tonight. That's what people want. It's hard to think of Entertainment Tonight without. Oh, I know it.
I mean, come on. Since I was a little kid.
This is Entertainment Tonight. This is the Bible of show.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30. Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
If you have plans to go on a hike this week, you might want to listen to this.
Experts say ticks are most active in early spring or late summer, and bites from ticks can cause major illness. Peter Choi has 4 tips to prevent tick bites and what to do if you find one on yourself or your pet.
I'm at a local hotspot for hiking in the Northwest, where unwelcome guests are returning for the season. Experts say that more ticks are appearing in our region, but you can protect yourself by simply following precautions before and after you hike.
Spring is here. Many insects are making their return, including ticks in the woods.
Found one crawling on my leg yesterday, which thankfully wasn't attached, so.
Hiking with kids, she's always on alert for ticks.
I've heard it's been bad this year, so we're more concerned about it, and I've been checking everyone when we get home before we get in the house.
Jeff Weigel is an epidemiologist at the Panhandle Health District. Common symptoms from tick bites are flu-like symptoms such as headache, fever, and sometimes vomiting.
Hike to the middle of the trail and put on some DEET, spray it on your clothes, and allow it to dry. And try to stay out of the woods.
Plus, wearing enclosed shoes, long pants, and a long sleeve shirt is recommended.
Lemon eucalyptus, and you can put that on your skin. You can wash or condition your hair with that same.
After you hike, check hair, ears, elbows, and even belly button. Then take a shower right away. The expert says when you get bit by ticks, get a tweezer and pull the tick directly out of your skin. For kids, checking with a pediatrician is also recommended if they have any flu-like symptoms.
She actually had one a couple weeks ago.
A hiker, Anya Armstrong, is always on the lookout for ticks, especially with dogs.
I usually give her a bath with some tick shampoo if I do see any, and then I'll pull them out with tweezers.
Check their fur, especially along their collar line, and same thing in their where the areas where their joints can bend.
And he says look for changes like tick paralysis in dogs. Peter Choi, 4 News Now.
Well, the cost of attending most public colleges in Idaho is going up, with the State Board of Education approving a 5% increase in tuition and fees.
May not sound like much, but it can add up quickly over the 4 years that you're in college. For example, at the University of Idaho, next year it will cost in-state undergraduate students $8,816 a year. This year, students paid $8,396. That's a $420 increase. That number doesn't include other expenses like books, of course.
And during the meeting, discussion mainly focused on maintaining access for affordability for students, all while balancing increased costs because of inflation. Right now, Idaho has one of the lowest in-state tuition costs in the country, coming in at number 6, according to data from the College Board. One of the board members says the increase would move them to the number 9 spot, assuming no other state raises their costs, which he says is unlikely. To see how much more students could expect to pay at other universities in the Gem State, look for the story on KXLY.com.
One program that could help with the cost of tuition is the Idaho Launch Initiative. Starting next year, the program would give Idaho high school graduates up to $8,500 to help pay for college or workforce training programs if they stay in Idaho. Preference will also be given to students pursuing in-demand careers like welding and plumbing.
Live look over downtown Spokane, looking brighter and even a little bit of blue sky. The clouds are starting to deflate a bit after an afternoon of convection. Here are 4 things to know about your weather. Our storms are weakening and will really dissipate by about 8 o'clock. More thunderstorms on the way for Tuesday with the potential for heavy rain. It looks like these storms will be more widespread and bring the potential of flash flooding, and then there is record heat in the forecast for the weekend. Here's a look at our radar right now, and the very last of some storms tapering off. We did see some strong storms earlier this afternoon and this evening with pea-size hail, 30-mile-per-hour gusts, as well as some heavy downpours. But right now, just a couple rumbles of thunder down on the Palouse and in the mountains of western Montana, crossing into the Clark Fork region. As we zoom in a little bit, the storm around Laclede has definitely weakened, although still producing some good rainfall, and a little bit closer view there. May not make it to Sandpoint at its current trajectory, just inching to the north. Our temperatures right now have increased in some spots, although it is 70 in Spirit Lake where we've had some rain. It's 82 in 9 Mile, 77 at the airport in Spokane. Your forecast for tomorrow, we're heading up into the mid-80s. 67 is our average high. Chance of showers and thunderstorms developing around noon and picking up in the afternoon and early evening. I'll be back with that as well as a cooling trend heading into next week that may not stick around. Kirsten?
Thank you, Chris. Well, around the Northwest, 12 people had to be rescued off of Highway 504 because of this mudslide. It happened near Mount St. Helens. Currently, there is some debris covering both sides of the highway, and there's no estimated time for reopening. The agency asked travelers to avoid the area until further notice.
3 people crashed their UTV in the backcountry Sunday and had to be rescued. Goonie County Sheriff's deputies say the crash happened at the Horsehaven Airstrip. The trio were able to get to the Hudlow warming hut to start a fire. One of them used a satellite phone to text for help. The driver was eventually taken to the hospital by helicopter, is expected to recover. The other 2 were driven out of the forest around midnight.
The Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine is no longer available in the United States. All remaining doses expired last week, according to the CDC. More than 31 million doses of the J&J vaccine were sent out for distribution, but only 19 million people got it, leaving more than 12 million doses unused. A majority of people got the mRNA vaccines from Pfizer and Moderna. Last week, the public health emergency expired for COVID-19, but people can still get free vaccinations as long as federal supplies last.
New at 6:30, state and federal leaders may disagree on the status of any migrant surge along the U.S. southern border, but one thing both major political parties appear to agree on is the need for federal immigration reform.
This as more and more U.S. cities feel their resources stretched beyond capacity, with buses full of migrants still arriving. CNN's Laura Aguirre has the latest on what states are doing to get federal funding and action.
It was a quiet start to the week at many U.S. border entry points. The massive migrant crowds of last week, nearly non-existent after the end of Title 42 restrictions.
The United States Border Patrol has experienced a 50% drop in the number of encounters versus what we were experiencing earlier in the week before Title 42 ended.
Homeland Security comparing 10,000 migrant encounters a day before Title 42 ended, with just 4,200 arrivals on Saturday. Not everyone agrees that a surge has been averted.
They can't predict the peak. CBP said 40% increase is expected with Title 42 gone. That's another 9 million people in 2 years.
A judge's ruling last week temporarily blocked the government's release of most migrants into the U.S. before they have their court date, a move that's stretching resources in several host cities.
We do see that the Border Patrol is full, but we are prepared. We're ready to move forward.
We have finite resources, and we are indeed stressed here in Denver.
The Biden administration is expected to appeal the no-release ruling as some cities join forces to get a sit-down in the Oval Office.
5 of us mayors, including Mayor Adams of New York, D.C., Chicago, and Denver, have joined together in a letter to the White House that arrives today requesting a meeting with the president.
The federal government should get all the border mayors in one room so we can all be on the same page. This is not a Democrat or Republican problem. This is an American problem.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Also new tonight, the United States Postal Service is beefing up mail security during a rise in thefts. More mail carriers have been robbed on the job since July. And there's also been more than 25,000 incidents of theft from receptacles. USPS is installing 12,000 high-security blue collection boxes around the country, and it is also replacing 49,000 older locks with electronic ones. USPS is updating the process for change of address requests to prevent identity theft.
The Seattle Seahawks wrapped up rookie minicamp over the weekend. Coming up in sports, Alex Crescenti tells us what the coaching staff was looking for from their guys after being drafted just a couple of weeks ago.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by All Lines Insurance at alllinesinsurer.com.
Why not have the bath of your dreams? With Bath Planet, you can once again relax and enjoy the beauty of your new shower and bath. Our custom-built baths and showers will forever change the way your bathroom looks.
Call today for a free in-home consultation.
Is your dog pulling you on walks, behaving poorly, or not listening to your commands? Unleashed Academy will resolve your dog's aggression, leash pulling, and reactivity. Our trained behaviorists will teach you and your dog to have a relaxed relationship you can be proud of. Call today.
It's the big spring kickoff event this week at Northwest Fence, where every year we launch the fencing season with super hot buys on all your fencing needs. Like 20% off galvanized chain link fencing or 15% off vinyl, black chain link, or wood fencing. This is your chance to get whatever you need and save a little of the cost by shopping early and beating the summer rush. So stop by the Fencing Pros at Northwest Fence this week. And remember, nobody builds them better.
Tonight, 6 all-time greats.
What is grit?
Who's Caro?
What is Mean Girls?
One incredible tournament. Who will be crowned the first ever Jeopardy Masters champion?
Bring it.
Bring it. Don't bring it.
Jeopardy Masters continues tonight on ABC.
Hey, Greens. How's everything going today?
Hey, Robert. We're good. Just checking in on that car loan we applied for.
No worries. Let me pull that up. Yep. Looks like you're approved and all set.
Hey, that's great news.
So, you headed over to the dealership now?
Yep. Just gotta make one stop first.
And we got a great rate, too.
Why not have the bath of your dreams? With Bath Planet, you can once again relax and enjoy the beauty of your new shower and bath. Our custom-built baths and showers will forever change the way your bathroom looks.
Call today for a free in-home consultation.
Graduation for the fallen. Next, Inside Edition. The special tributes for the 4 slain students who never got the chance to live out their lives. Their classmates and families remember. Then, she's 66 years old.
Here's my flashback suit. Woo!
And she still fits into the same bathing suit she wore 30 years ago.
Longevity, baby. Woo!
Watch the next Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
83 degrees today, and we're going to see even warmer weather in the 7-day forecast. 67 is our average high, a number to keep in mind for the next few slides, because we're not even going to be close to that number. In fact, we started the day off close to our average high. 63 degrees was our morning low. Took a blanket off the bed, that's for sure. 8:21 our sunset time. Now here is a look at our temperature trend over the next 7 days. A little bit of a roller coaster here. This white line way down here is our average high in the mid 60s. We're going to be up in the mid 80s and then upper 80s as we get into Friday. 92 on Saturday. That would beat the heck out of our old record, or our current record, I should say, of 86. And then we bring in some showers and thunderstorms and cooler weather. 79 on Monday. It looks like we're in for a cooling trend, but look how far above average we are, and then that makes this next graphic make a little more sense. Above average temperatures continuing right on through the end of May. Now, we're not in the deep dark brown that we were in last week, but a very strong signal nonetheless of above average temperatures throughout the western United States, particularly a little bit further to the east. Meanwhile, not as strong a signal, but at least a trend toward below average precipitation for that time period as well. Warmer than average, drier than average conditions as we approach the fire season. Not especially welcome, especially with some of the numbers showing up in the 7-day forecast. Here's a look at our satellite and radar right now, and we are getting some rain out of these thunderstorms, although they are tapering off very rapidly around the region. Watching one little area down in the Idaho Palouse, also in the LC Valley, a system making its way to the north, but these are losing a lot of energy as we get into the late evening, and we will be drying out here in a very short order. Our forecast radar as we go through the evening, dry conditions, partly cloudy skies, and then tomorrow morning we'll start to see a few showers developing in the Columbia Basin. By the afternoon, showers and thunderstorms blooming in the instability of the afternoon, bringing heavy rain and the potential for a little more dynamic weather. We will be tracking those very closely. More thunderstorms possible on Wednesday. Thursday, they should be confined to the mountains. And then we see that peak of our warming trend on Saturday with a record 92. Cooling off a little bit Sunday and Monday, but above average temperatures for the foreseeable future. Kirsten.
Thank you, Chris. New at 6:30, drivers using I-90 in both directions between Spokane Valley and Liberty Lake should expect some delays this week. Crews are working on the new Kramer Parkway under crossing, and tomorrow night at 7 o'clock until 5 o'clock in the morning Wednesday, crews are going to close the right lane of eastbound I-90, followed by the left eastbound lane. Then the same thing will happen again on Wednesday night, but on the westbound side. For more information about the project and a little review on which side will be crossing, look for this story on KXLY.com.
While our rivers and lakes are still cold and dangerous, we have perfect pool weather in the inland Northwest.
It's also never too late to learn how to swim or maybe just brush up on your strokes. 4 News Now's Destiny Richards shows us how the Salvation Army Croc Center is helping grown-ups get comfortable in the water.
It's National Water Safety Month, and the Salvation Army Croc Center's Adult Learn to Swim lessons are making a big splash. The classes started last week and are every Monday and Wednesday morning. It's for adults who don't know how to swim, beginners looking to get better, or people like Randy, who's avoided it for years.
My brother drowned when I was a young boy. He was 7, I was 6, and I've always been afraid of water since then.
This morning, Randy showed up to the Kroc Center for the 3rd Learn to Swim class and caught up quickly. He says he wants to swim to improve his cardio and help others too.
I know there's good benefit from it, so I want to do that.
The Kroc Center offers these lessons and opportunities for people of all ages to learn basic swimming and water safety year-round. And it's more important than ever this time of year as the weather warms up.
Whether you're swimming at the pool or at the lake with your family, it's recommended all inexperienced swimmers and young children wear a properly fitted life jacket and never swim alone.
Because if something does happen, if you get into some trouble, your friend can go call for help or even go out and give you some help. Definitely if you're out on a boat, paddleboard, kayak, on one of our lakes or rivers, you want to make sure that you're wearing a life jacket. It's very important. Even if you're a good swimmer, you can get into trouble and then get very easily fatigued, so that's important.
Ramsey says getting your child in swimming lessons at least by 9 years old can help them be comfortable and confident in the water. To see what swimming lessons are open and for more information on water safety from the Kroc Center, see this story on KXLY.com. In Coeur d'Alene, Destiny Richards, 4 News Now.
Here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Hi, I'm attorney Jim Hill.
And I'm attorney Matt Russell.
And after 10 years of helping the injured people of Spokane,
Russell and Hill have won lots of awards.
But at the end of the day, only one award really matters.
The award we get the insurance company to pay you. Russell and Hill.
We don't need a line of credit from STCU right now. Business is booming.
Can I be frank with you? The moment you need a line of credit, you don't qualify for it. It's a paradox.
Like the more I insist that I don't quality test the laughing gas, the more people think I do.
Do you? Anyway, no, it's like flossing so you don't get a cavity. Open up a line of credit now to stay strong when business isn't booming.
What do you think?
All right, let's celebrate. Go ahead and turn that gas on.
No, put that down.
STCU Business. Partner up.
At your locally owned Ace Hardware, we've got everything you need to keep your grass green and your gardens blooming all season long. With top brands like Ego and Steel, you'll be able to blow those leaves and trim those weeds like a pro. We've got a wide selection of lawn and garden accessories, and our friendly experts will help you find exactly what you're looking for to keep your lawn and garden in top condition. So come see us at Ace with service so good it's guaranteed.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
For 50 years, Anthony's has been serving up the most unforgettable dining experience. We take our seafood seriously. Our own seafood company delivers only the best catch straight to our kitchens. Every dish is prepared with local ingredients and paired with our spectacular waterfront views. Savor the essence of the Northwest with Anthony's 3-course sunset dinners, available for only $30 weekdays until 5:30. Reserve at anthonys.com.
For over 65 years, McVeigh Brothers has been on the cutting edge of the newest technologically advanced products sold. We're now offering triple pane windows, custom colored windows of your choice, and amazing mini blinds between the glass that will last a lifetime.
My dad has dementia, Alzheimer's. The major issue that we face as a multi-generation family is what is the care for the caregivers? Especially for the younger generation walk cares, will provide peace of mind that when you need some time off to take care of yourself while taking care of the family. For people of color, for minority communities who are already shy of asking for help, when they need it, it's out there, it's available, and it's easy to go ask for help.
4 News Now is brought to you by Panhandle Carpet One, Coeur d'Alene.
It's only May, but certainly never too early to start looking ahead to the football season, as NFL teams will be opening up training camps before you know it. And for the Seattle Seahawks, they wrapped up their rookie minicamp over the weekend. And this was our first chance to see the 10 newest Seattle players take the field for the first time after they were drafted just a couple of weeks ago. Cornerback Devin Witherspoon out of Illinois and wide receiver Jackson Smith-Njigba out of Ohio State headlined this class as the 2 picks selected in the first round. And we know that they're going to make an impact pretty early on, but everyone else is up in the air at this point, and head coach Pete Carroll wants his guys to show out over the last 3 days.
We've told them that we got to learn them and figure them out, and they know that everything counts. We made a big deal about that, so that's how they present themselves and how they act and how they speak. So the process is underway, and now that they're here with us, this is the best chance to really start to figure who they are and what they're all about.
The Seahawks will begin off-season OTAs starting on May 22nd, and last week we found out they're going to open up their season against the Los Angeles Rams in Seattle on September 9th. And former Washington State and Gonzaga Prep defensive back Armani Marsh is keeping his NFL dreams alive after he signed a free agent contract with the Tennessee Titans. After originally walking on at Wazoo, Marsh was a two-time All-Pac-12 conference selection, compiling 184 tackles and 13 pass breakups with 4 interceptions. The last Coug to appear for the Titans was quarterback Luke Falk, who was drafted by Tennessee back in 2018. And checking in on the Seattle Mariners, they have absolutely opened up the scoring over the Boston Red Sox this evening out at Fenway Park. Cal Raleigh has a couple of home runs. He's got 4 RBIs on the afternoon, 3 hits. And then Eugenio Suarez has a home run as well. We'll have the highlights for you coming up on Nightside. And checking in on the big game here, not the score that many fans in this area want to see. The Seattle Kraken down 1-0 as we enter the third period. They got 20 minutes to hopefully tie this thing up and head to the Western Conference Finals, but they got a long road ahead. They're going to have to do some scoring here, shut out in the first 40 minutes against the Dallas Stars. Guys, I'm going to send it back over to you.
Alex, thank you. Well, time is running out to make sure your team has a guaranteed spot in the world's largest 3-on-3 basketball tournament. After today, the price to register for Hoop Fest goes up by $20. You have until midnight to sign up. We have a link to register. Just find that at KXLY.com. American household debt has surpassed $17 trillion, a new high.
That's according to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. The debt grew $148 billion, or nearly 1% from the fourth quarter of last year. Americans increased debt across nearly all categories, but the largest balances were for mortgages, home equity lines of credit, auto loans, student loans, and retail cards. Meanwhile, credit card balances remained flat at $986 million. Experts attribute this growth to inflation, spending increases, and typical consumer behavior.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Get a free Makita Impact Driver Kit or a Pit Boss Grill now when you build a deck with wood decking or TimberTech or Trex composite decking and railing from Par. Visit par.com for details.
What are you going to build?
Life. It doesn't stand still, and neither do you. And wherever you go, we're with you. We're Global Credit Union, formerly Alaska USA. For 75 years, enriching the lives of members and guiding them on their financial journeys, giving them the confidence to not just follow their dreams, but to chase them. The future? We're on it. Let's get there together. Global Credit Union. On we go.
Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. Follow, 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 follow the yellow brick road.
Heart-pounding design, intelligent technology, courageous performance. Discover a new world of possibilities in the Lexus RX. Never lose your edge.
You filming?
Yep.
Try rolling your wrist, dude.
You gotta focus on balance.
You should switch to sledding. I'm gonna block him.
Good idea.
Don't forget stick work. Hustle's paying off.
We all have causes near and dear to our hearts. That's why at Horizon Credit Union, we are dedicated to giving back, supporting local charities, expressing our not-for-profit values, investing in you and our community. Because your path is our purpose, and together we make a positive impact. Discover the difference.
Horizon!
Open your account today. Visit hzcu.org/discover.
Build your deck with PAR and get everyday low prices on Trex and TimberTech composite decking. But shop now and you'll get $100 off TimberTech, Trex, and AZEK railing and accessories with qualifying purchase. Visit par.com for details.
What are you going to build?
4 News Now is brought to you by Windsor Plywood.
Looks like it could be a busy afternoon and evening tomorrow for showers and thunderstorms around the region. And I do mean showers. These storms have the potential for some flooding rain. We'll be keeping a very close eye on them. This is a great time to download that 4 News Now First Alert weather app. So as you're heading out for your evening soccer practices and such, you can keep an eye on the storms. We'll be doing the same.
You also mentioned some small hail today in some of those storms.
Yes, absolutely. Pea-sized hail, very common.
Thanks, Chris. We'll see you tonight.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.